threatening the City of London. A breakaway paramilitary group in Northern Ireland says it's ready to reignite a bombing campaign that tore into the financial heart of Britain's capital in the 90s. In written response to questions from the Guardian newspaper, the Real Irish Republican Army says it will target bankers as the allies of government. The bankers grease the politicians' palms, the group said. The politicians bail out the bankers with public funds. The bankers pay themselves fat bonuses. It's essentially a crime spree that benefits a social elite at the expense of many millions of victims. In 1992, bombers from the Provisional IRA struck at the Baltic Exchange building in the financial district, killing 3 on the site of what would become the landmark city building known as the Gherkin. A year later, and another massive truck bomb close by in Bishopsgate. It was clear then that the Provisional IRA had the resources to sustain a campaign of violence on the mainland, which is what they did. Security sources in Northern Ireland say the Real IRA, which broke away from the Provisionals during peace talks in 1997, has only around 100 active members and isn't nearly as well resourced. But the group claims to be building fresh support among disaffected nationalists in still divided working-class areas of Northern Ireland.
It's 12 years since they did the Omagh bombing, and they've been trying to restart their campaign ever since. And in the last few years, there have been a good number of near misses, and one of these days they will be successful. But so far, their attacks have been aimed at traditional military targets, but to actually move over and attack capitalist targets, economic targets, would be relatively unusual, and obviously it's an attempt to try and be populist.
Polls indicate a majority of nationalists in Northern Ireland do back the peace process, aimed at uniting opposing factions under government devolved from direct British rule. But the threat level from groups like the Real IRA remains high, with more than 10 attacks carried out in Northern Ireland this year alone. Now the prospect looms of a possible return to targets in mainland Britain. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, London.